Welcome to Love in Life, a guide to a positive mindset. My aim is to show you that the key to a happier and more positive mind is to love the life you have. We will look at tips and tools you can use to improve your mindset, and the best thing is, we'll all be on this journey together. Hi, and welcome back to Love in Life. I am Lisa, and I am literally loving my life right now. I have to say a huge thank you for anyone who listened last week, anyone who reached out to me last week. I had so many messages of support, messages of thanks, messages of, oh my God, I didn't realise, but that happened to me as well. I absolutely loved last week's episode. It was very emotional, but it was something that had to be done. And I think that the timing of Anti-Bullying Week, plus where I am in my journey right now, made it the perfect time to go more into the effects of bullying and the effects that it's had on me. And it's allowed other people to do the same as well. And I'm so proud of that. So once again, I just want to say a huge thank you. Now, before I go on, I would just like to say, if you can think of anybody who you think could benefit from listening to that episode, because it has touched so many people, and so many people have had realizations. So if you can think of anyone who would benefit from hearing what I had to say last week, then please do take a screenshot of my episode and send it on to somebody so as they can listen to it. Share it in your stories. I would be really grateful, because the more, that is my aim, is to help as many people as I can. It is my passion, as I've said recently. Helping people is my passion. And the best thing is, I'm helping myself along the way. So yeah, I'm super happy right now. And it actually brings me on really nicely onto what I was actually going to talk about last week. But I'm so glad I didn't talk about it last week, because what I'm going to talk about now is even more relevant now. The thing I want to talk about today is community. And here's the thing. I realised that I was able to share my experience of being bullied with my community of people that are around me. So you as listeners, people who follow me on Instagram, people who I work with, I was able to share that with my own little community. And I have to be completely honest, I've never really, it's not as if I haven't talked about it before, but I've never openly spoken about it, certainly to as many people as I did last week. I've never openly spoke about it quite as much as I did last week. And I honestly think that is because I can feel the sense of community around me. I know that people who listen to me get me, because if they didn't, then why the hell would they be listening to me? Do you know what I mean? I trust that the people who follow me and that the people engage with me get me. And it is so important. And it's also made me realise, talking about what I talked about last week, it's made me realise that I've never, something I've always realised, but I've just put the dots together. I've never felt comfortable in a group of friends. And this has to be going back to, being bullied by my group of friends at school. So even as an adult, all of my friendships, certainly close friendships, are always in, I have like a close friend who's part of this group over here. I have another close friend who's part of another group who I met over here. And then I have another close friend who I met through something completely different. Do you know what I mean? I tend to, and it's not always necessarily always the case, but I tend to be very uncomfortable in a group. And I tend to not trust people when I'm in a group. And it's obvious now, looking back, why I feel like that. So I don't feel the need to go on and over-explain it too much. And if you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, I've seen you in a group of people, if you've met me in the past. If you're thinking, I've seen you in a group of people, yes, I might come across as confident in a group of people, but that doesn't mean that I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, we all have to put on a brave front sometimes, and that's exactly what I do in a group of people. The thought of being in a group of people, no, I'm going to retract that. The thought of trusting a group of people really freaks me out. And then that makes me question, have I ever, until recently, really tried to be part of a community? Have I ever really put myself in a position where I can trust people in a group? So a couple of weeks ago, I had as you all know, I've become obsessed with belief coding this year. And a couple of weeks ago, I went to an event, which I think I might have talked about on here. I certainly have talked about it on my social media. I went to an event where the whole point of the event was to celebrate certain members of the belief coding community who have held over 100 sessions, helped 100 people, helped 100, change 100 beliefs. So that was the whole point of the day. And I was so excited to go, even though I wasn't there to celebrate my own achievements. The thing I was excited about was being in a room full of people who genuinely have the same passions as me. And here's the thing. In that room full of people, I've met certain members once, maybe twice, for not even a handful of people, probably 2 or 3 people. And the rest of them, I don't know. I have never met in my life. I had no idea who else was going to be there, apart from a couple of people. But I was really excited. There was not one little bit of me that felt nervous. And like I said, that is because I knew I was going to be in a room full of people who share my passion. And here's the thing about being in a community. So what actually is a community, actually? Before we go any further, what is a community? A community is a group of people who are bound together by one interest or by one similarity, one or more similarity. So going back to, here's the thing about being in a community. If you can find a community of people who share the same passion as you, and I'm not just talking about something really minor you have in common. I'm talking about your passion. If you can find a community of people who share your passion, you know that you're going to be surrounded by people who have the same outlook as you, who have the same goals as you, who share your idea of fulfillment. And it gives you an unbreakable bond that other people who don't share that same passion as you, other people who aren't in that community, they can never understand, or they can never truly get. So for me, that is the best thing about being in a community. It's knowing that people will get you. And I have to say that since I have been part of the belief coding community, and I've been to several events now that are associated with belief coding, and the people who I've met through doing the training, for example, when I did the training back in June, we've got a community of about 30 ladies who we're on this big WhatsApp group, and we are each other's cheerleaders. Like, if I ever have any questions about anything, if I ever have any concerns, those people, or I guarantee that at least one person will respond to me straight away. It makes you feel like you belong. And I can guarantee that whenever I do any social media posts or, put anything vulnerable out there, those ladies from my training group, my belief coding training group, I guarantee you they are the first ones to comment. They are the first ones to show support. They are the first ones to show love and understanding, because they understand. And we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different areas of the country, but they understand. They get me. We might have come from different places, but we're all in that one place now where we just get each other. We might go different places in the future. We might go different directions. We might not always be part of that community. But right now, in this moment in time, they are where I am. And I am where they are. And by the way, that's how I truly feel about this community. That is how I feel about you. We are both on a journey together. Do you know what I mean? So that is what made it so easy for me to be able to share my story last week. Being in a community of people who genuinely share your interests and passions means you can be your true self. You haven't got to hide because they understand you. Being part of a community helps you feel that you truly belong somewhere. Like when I was in that room full of, there was probably 70 belief coders. And I'd met, like I said, a handful of them before, but I felt like I belonged. Many of them were there to celebrate having held over 100 sessions. And even though I've only recently accredited and held less than half of that, I still felt like I belonged there. I didn't feel out of place. And this is the whole thing about a community, is that people respect each other. People respect that where one person is now, somebody else is going to be there soon. And how amazing to be a part of that. And there's also an online community as well. And whenever new people sign up and ask questions, you can guarantee that within 2 minutes, somebody from that larger community will respond with support, the answer to a question that you're looking for, whatever it is you need. Because everybody in that community was there at one point. Everybody started somewhere. Online communities are brilliant because in the digital age that we live in, we've always got somebody who we can connect with. So those, Facebook groups that you're a part of, those online memberships that you've got, I can't think of other online communities that you might have, but you get what I'm saying. There's always somebody there, and that is amazing. But think of the difference how you feel when you have a physical community, when you're able to meet those like-minded people in person and, have a hug, have a face-to-face conversation with somebody. There's nothing like it. The benefits of having a physical community are huge. So I urge you, if you're not part of any communities, if you are like me, your friendship groups you don't have friendship groups as such, but your friends are dotted about here and there, that's absolutely fine. Like, I'm more than happy with that in terms of friendship, but I still need to feel part of a community. So I urge you to think of a way you can be a part of a community. So what are your hobbies? What are your interests? What local groups can you go to? Can you go to a yoga class? Can you go to an exercise class? Think of the benefit of a physical community for people who truly need support. So take AA, for example. I wonder, I'm not saying this because I know the answer, because I don't, but I wonder if the success rate of attending an AA session are anywhere near as good if they're online compared to as in person, if they're in person. I wonder if that physical connection makes it even more meaningful. Do you know what I mean? Can you see the difference? So if you like knitting, or if you like golf, if you like walking, hiking, running, it doesn't have to be physical things. Like I said, reading in the library. Go and be part of a community. The effects that being part of a community has had on me, and I've only really truly found this since being in the belief coding community, but the effects of being in that community has had on me are absolutely profound. I've never come across such support. I've never come across such engagement. And that's because I have found something to be a part of that I love just as much as the other people in that community. I'm not telling you to go and be a part of the belief coding community. I'm telling you to find out, to realize, to question, what are your passions? What makes you passionate? What makes you not shut up? Go and be a part of that community, whether it's online or in person. If you can do anything in person, fabulous. But if it can only be online, then so be it. But be a part of that community. Engage with that community. Introduce yourself in that community. It gives you such a sense of fulfillment to feel like you belong somewhere, to feel like people truly get you. And I truly get that sense of community now. Like, I've never really, up until now, put myself in a community. Obviously, I've had groups of friends, I've had work colleagues. I've never really put myself in a community. And yeah, I really, really get the difference now. I really get the benefits of it. Talking of community, if you're part of my Facebook group, the last few weeks I've been doing some little accountability posts. So every Monday I will post something that allows you to, or encourages you to, comment what you want to achieve in that week that you want to be held accountable for. And I'll tell you what, I mean, I've been doing it and commenting what I want to get done. And I'll tell you what, as soon as you write it down, it's almost like you're saying it out loud. As soon as you write it down, it makes you want to get on with it. So because you've said it in front of other people, that in itself makes you accountable. So, and you've got this other group, this community holding you accountable. So I've had a few people taking part in it, and they've said what they want to achieve for that week, and they've got on and done it as well. So why don't you come and join us in my Facebook group? The link, I'll put the link below in the show notes. But I don't just post about accountability. It's not just about accountability. It's a bit of an extension of my Instagram, to be honest with you. And where I'll just share inspiring things and trying to get you thinking, you know, more or less like I do in this podcast, really. But yeah, why don't you come and join us in the Facebook group, in the Facebook group, and let me know each Monday. It's not too late now. I know we're halfway through the week, but go back, join the group, go back a couple of days and let me know. I think this week I posted something about it coming to the end of autumn, and obviously we've got winter coming in, the time where we slow down, the time where we start to hibernate. What is it you want to achieve before the end of the year? What little steps can you take to just take that little step towards your goal before the year's out? So yeah, why don't you come and join us in the Facebook group and join in with that? It'd be great to see you there. Now, before I go, there's just a couple of things I want to update you on, a couple of things that I've got coming up in the future. Well, in the not so far future. So I have decided that as a Black Friday, you know, we all do these Black Friday deals, don't we? You see it everywhere nowadays. So I thought, why not jump on board and do a Black Friday deal? So from now until Christmas, I'm going to offer one-off belief coding sessions for a very special price. So my prices are already on an introductory price anyway. So a one-off belief coding session at the moment is $150, which is already a bargain. But for now, I'm going to be offering one-off belief coding sessions for £111. And the reason why I've chosen to do them for £111 is because of the spiritual meaning of 111. 111 is a sign of new beginnings, and it's a sign that you're ready to release the past, let go of things from the past. And this is what belief coding is all about. So if you've got a limiting belief or a fear or a phobia or a pain, something that you're ready to let go of, belief coding is a beautiful way to figure out what emotional trauma is trapped in your body causing that discomfort. So yeah, please get in contact if you fancy giving it a go for 111. That price is only going to be available until Christmas, and I wanted you guys to be the first to know about it. I'm not going to post about it on any of my socials until I'm back from my little break. Oh, that's a point. I haven't told you about that. Craig and I are off to Abu Dhabi to watch the Formula One, the final race of the Formula One. If there's any fellow fans out there, it's something we've been longing to do for years. We've only ever been to one, and that was about 10 years ago now. And we've been desperate to go again. So we found a great deal for Abu Dhabi, and we're off. Well, if you're listening to this on Wednesday, then we're off now. And yeah, can't wait. So as I was saying, I'm not going to post about it on any of my socials until I'm back on Monday. So, and that just gives you chance, because obviously time slots are going to be limited. I can only do a certain amount of these in the time between now and Christmas. So I just want to give anybody who is listening a chance to book in with me before everybody else gets in there and my time gets taken up and I can't take it on any more sessions. So please do hurry up if you want a session and let me know, and we'll get it booked in. I can't wait to hear from you. Belief coding is amazing. Secondly, the other thing I've got coming up is my year planning masterclass. So this year, I'm calling it 2024, I'm ready for more. For anyone who's listening who is interested, last year, there was only a few of us on the group and it was just amazing. I've recently reached out to those who did it with me, and the feedback they gave was that it just gave them so much clarity on what they want to achieve and how to achieve it, and just breaking it down into small, manageable steps. And it's not just big, huge, life-changing goals. It's little things as well. And that's what I get you. That's what I encourage you to think about. I just break down your life into different areas and get you thinking about all the big things and all the little things as well. So if you are wanting to join me I'm going to do it on the 28th of December. And it doesn't matter if you can join me or not live. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You will have access to it whenever, wherever you are. And it's the kind of thing you can go back over again if you need to. You can replay it. You can get friends and family involved. But if you are able to join me live, that would be amazing, because then I can answer any questions that you've got. We can talk together in real time. So as I said, that's going to be on the 28th of December. I'm going to do it at 3:00 UK time. So that gives anybody who's in America, wherever you are in America, hopefully it gives you time to join if you want to. And the price of this is $33.33. So the significance of that number, if you didn't realise, I am massively into spiritual meanings of things. So this number is a powerful symbol of growth, expansion and positivity in all aspects of life. And I just thought, how bloody relevant is that for a year planning masterclass? Like, how relevant is that? Who doesn't want growth, expansion and positivity? I guess not everybody. If you do, I'm your girl. Hit me up. I'll put the link to that in. Again, I'll pop that down below. Obviously, if you are in a different country and you've got a different currency, then the payment is going to differ slightly. It's not going to be $33.33, but it still will have that spiritual meaning. I promise you, because I will make sure it has. And when you're filling out that Stripe form and you press that pay now button, then just hit that button with intention, knowing that 2024 is going to be bloody amazing. One of the girls who joined me, I say girl, she's a lady. One of the ladies who joined me last year has achieved everything that she set out to, which is absolutely amazing. So just to recap, I've got belief coding sessions for 111. I'll put the link to that in the show notes as well. Just the inquiry form. If you just mention on there that it's heard about it from the podcast and that it's for a special price of 111, just put that in the notes somewhere. And then obviously I'll put down below as well the link for 2024. I'm ready for more. God, last year it was so lush. It was my first real it was my first experience of any form of coaching, because I'd done my last wedding cake just before Christmas, and then I always like to do it in between Christmas and New Year. So as you go into the new year knowing exactly what you want to achieve, like none of these shitty New Year's resolutions that no one fucking remembers after 3 days. I want to start it with intention, and that was such a great way for me to start that year with intention. It was my first experience of any form of coaching, and I absolutely loved it, even though it turned out I had COVID and didn't realise it at the time. Don't worry, it was all virtual. But yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with me. I realise that I've rambled on now for quite a long time, so I do appreciate you sticking around to hear what I've got to say, to hear what's coming up for me. And yeah, I can't wait to hear from you. if you want to see me basking in the sunshine, which is going to be really weird actually at this time of year for me. I've never been abroad, not to a nice hot country anyway, at this time of year. So it's going to be very strange. I'm going to post lots of pictures and I just cannot wait. I love Formula One and I'm so excited. So I will speak to you next week. I look forward to hearing from you. Don't worry that I'm away. I still, read my messages and all that, and I'll still get you booked in if you want a belief coding session. Obviously, I'm not going to carry them out whilst I'm away, but we can get them booked in for when I'm back. So yeah, I look forward to hearing from you, and I will speak to you next week. Lots of love. Bye.